Hello Taurus, this is your January 2020 end of the month video because there's a lot going on. There is a new moon happening on the 24th of this month. I'm going to attach a video down below so that you find out where you set your new moon intentions. This is a powerful new moon. It has a lot of divine cosmic support. In that video, I'm going to explain why and in what area of your life your new moon intention, like what energies, what are the keywords connected to the intention. That way your wish comes true. But what I will tell you here in this video is that it is all about your future. It is all about getting what you want going forward and information that's going to be coming in. I go into the details down below. Check it out. You won't be disappointed. For this video, we're going to be talking about Venus and Mars. At the end of this month, and at the same time of the new moon intention, the same time I'm telling you to set your new moon intentions, there is going to be conflicting energy. Conflicting in a sense where there's going to be one part of your chart where you want to go do this and another part of your chart where you want to go do that. The problem is that it might be individuals in your life coming at you. And you want to know what area in your life these are in, what buckets they're going to be in, so that you know, okay, that's that. And I already know that's not going to work out because there's an automatic stress and tension set up. Now, the tension and the stress, the squares, it doesn't mean these are areas of our life that we need to necessarily run from and avoid. What they supposedly do, like you read some of the astrologers and they tell you what a square means is it gives you this opportunity. It's an area of your life where things are difficult. So it gives you an opportunity to work with that difficulty. It doesn't mean you have to immerse yourself in it, but it means that if you face it, if you deal with it, as opposed to run from it, you typically will get a reward from it because that's how the energy works. It's like a problem came up. Everybody else was like, well, I don't want to deal with that. It's too difficult. And then for some reason, one person in the group looked at it and thought, well, how about we try this? And then when you did try it this other way, because you had this other idea, this other perspective, the shit worked. Well, when it works, when something ends up working, it's usually a benefit. Right? Because otherwise, why were you trying to accomplish it to begin with? So working with these things that appear as attention, typically we totally have an aversion. Like, get away, I don't want to deal with it. But it's learning how to deal with it. Not necessarily to avoid it, but learning how to face it and how to come to terms with my energy mixing with another energy where we typically are like oil and water. At this time, for all signs, Venus and Mars are not getting along. All right, and so typically this represents feminine and masculine energy. Where does this happen in your life? Where is it going to be happening? Where are you going to see it obviously coming about? So if you are, let's talk about Venus a little bit more first of all. Venus is with Neptune. They're literally holding hands. When Venus is in Pisces, okay, I don't mean to confuse you, but Venus being in Pisces, and so is Neptune. That's why I said when Venus is with Neptune. They're together in Pisces. Now, Neptune is at home in Pisces. Venus does very well here because Pisces, Neptune energy is in higher octave of Venusian energy. So they get along. Venus and Pisces have a lot in common. Venus is love. Pisces is divine love. Venus is, I like things that are beautiful. Pisces is, what is beautiful is that we are all one. It's the non-tangible beauties of the world, where Venus is the tangible beauties of the world. So there are certain languages that they use when they communicate that they understand each other, okay? They like things, Venus ideally likes things to be peaceful, like nobody fighting, nobody arguing. So she's all about being the one who is willing to compromise in a relationship because she doesn't want to fight. She doesn't want anybody to have to argue, okay? It should be where we each have the ability to compromise because we value each other being present. And so we're willing to say, well, how about we do what you want to do? Because they love you and they're willing to do something you want to do, even though they don't want to do it because they value your presence over the actual event. You get it? So Venus in Pisces, she takes on an even higher level now. She goes to the non-tangible world because that's Neptune, that's Pisces. She takes those traits, qualities, and characteristics on. So Venus in this area becomes more about Because Piscean energy, folks, is I need to get away. I need to be alone, but not alone in terms of I can't stand you, but alone in terms of like I need to meditate or I need a bubble bath. All right, depending upon who you are and where you are in your life, like here, and if the heart and the head are lined up, you get away in different ways. For some, it's just simply, getting on the couch and watching a movie. For others, it's picking up a book. For some, it's writing the book. Okay? For some, it's getting the paintbrush, right? Getting the paints out, getting a piece of canvas and escaping that way. It's very much this escape. I need to retreat. I need something for me so that I can rejuvenate. And so right now, Venus rejuvenates when she's alone, when she can retreat. So Venus then takes on this very ethereal, non-tangible feeling to her. She's all of a sudden not so like, oh, I need to go shopping, right? But depending upon who you are, it might be like, oh, I want to buy a book that tells me how to meditate. Okay, that would be a way that for some folks, that might be their Venus energy. And buying some sage, and buying the little things, the little, accessories to help with connecting to the other side, with escaping. So for some folks, this could be doing things like smoking something, right? Light up some sage, or literally smoking something, or taking some edibles, some medibles, right? Cannabis is now legal in Illinois, and it's been legal in many other states. But there might be ways of escaping, so it could be through liquids, right? Alcohol, because Pisces is definitely, it's water, right? Liquids is a big deal with Pisces, with Piscean energy. So you want to be careful at this time, because Venus is all about, I want to indulge, and I'm going to indulge. So whatever it is, whatever your method of escapism is what you're going to be wanting to do right this time. And it's typically not going to involve a whole bunch of people, especially the male Martian energy. There's an aversion to that right now. It's a squaring of it. I explained this in another video. The best way to describe these two energies, because they're literally squaring, is it's like the Mars wants to do one thing and the Venus wants to do another. So it's almost like, but Mars wants to go on an adventure, but Venus also has the idea of going on an adventure, but in a different way. So it's like, I need a vacation and you need a vacation. So we need to go on separate vacations. Right? You hear of people who do that? Some people do that all the time. Like every year, the husband and the wife, they each literally go, he goes on his fishing or hunting trip, and she goes and gets together with her girlfriends or whatever it is she goes and does by herself. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually very healthy. It is the one time when they get to separate and meet up with their own people, with their 11th house people, their tribe, and do things that really satisfy them, that feed them. It's things they need to do. Every once in a while, we all need to go there. We need to do that. And that's what this time is. That's what this end of this month is. So if you find that you're in relationships, you have a significant one-on-one relationship, and you see that happening, recognize it for what it is instead of taking it very personal. Okay? Just recognize it as you need to get away just as much as that person does. Because when Mars is in Sag, all right, this is me going to the other side of this energy now, the squaring Mars, it's in Sagittarius, okay? And the Sagittarian energy, your Sagittarius energy is actually in your 8th house. Now, the tricky part about this is that the 8th house is how we merge with what other people have, how we merge with their energy, how we merge with their resources, how we merge with what they value. Mars is going to be looking to do that. So this is, to be honest, this is kind of tricky, because if you're in this, but I just want to get away with my girlfriends, or I just want to get away, period, not with my girlfriends, I want to go and be alone. And the significant other, this Martian energy is all about, but I want to merge with you, right? I don't think it's going to necessarily be about merging with you specifically. It might be about, I want to merge with something that takes me beyond, with something that gives me a sense of freedom, with something that takes me out there, more of an exploring. Now, I hear you. I already hear it. This could be bad, especially for relationships that are rocky. This could be very bad, And I agree, it doesn't sound real good. So if you're in a relationship and it's a little rocky, this definitely could be a time where some relationships, you know, at the end of the month, people come to the point where they realize, you know what, maybe we weren't what we thought we were. Maybe we didn't have enough things in common to stay one. Maybe we didn't have enough trust built up between us where we couldn't handle a time like this, an unsettling time. Because Mars in Sag, it really is kind of like this heat-seeking missile. It really is. It's the Mars energy. Mars is the physical body. It's a vehicle. In Sagittarius, it's like, I got to go. I got to explore, right? In the 8th house, it's I got to emerge and explore with other people. But it doesn't have to be sexually, even though this is, the 8th house can be where you physically merge with somebody. Not going to lie about that. But it can also be a way of merging with other people's money and resources. So that could mean it could be some business stuff going on. It really could be. Now, if it's squaring with Venus, I'm going to keep it real because I know some people who have their own businesses. You could see a major stall happening at this time, at the end of the month. You could see a major stall slowing down because the 8th house to me, from what I've explored and I have read, it's not very popular belief, but it represents the money from businesses, right? The money that you make off of other businesses. Like it's my employer's money. It's the house of other people's money. I mean, it is your employer's money. So if your employer, you know, don't be surprised if there's people who get laid off at this time. This would be, I don't know if it's typical or not, but this energy suggests that because it's squaring Venus. Venus is our resources, our money. You get it? So that could be happening at this time for people. And if people get laid off, what happens? They have less money to spend on other stuff, okay? So you got to kind of figure out in your own chart, your own life, what it is that you do for work, what it is that you do when you merge with other people's money. Where is Mars in your chart, right? So for Taurus Ascendant, Taurus Rising, Mars is in your 8th house, okay? And Venus is in your 11th house. So this Venus and Mars energy, this Neptune up there too, this is your social circle. This is the internet. This is your group activity house. This is where you might have received benefits from that group before, but just at this time, at the end of the month, you're not going to because there's this square happening. So this is not a long transit, all right? I just want you to be aware. It's not a long thing. It's not a long cycle. Mars moves fast. Venus moves fast, right? This square is going to widen, and you're not going to feel it. It won't feel so personal once February starts to begin. Matter of fact, when February starts to begin, getting like the week before Valentine's Day, you're going to see the exact opposite happening. You're going to see Mars actually being very harmonious with Venus because Venus by then is going to move into Aries, and all of a sudden Venus in Aries is going to be trining fiery Mars in Sagittarius, okay? They're actually going to be getting along very well, and you're going to see major hookups occurring. So I just want you to know this is a temporary thing, but at the same time, being aware of this would be good to know in advance, okay? Because when we talk about relationships, Mars can be very impulsive because it's ego. It's a very ego, you know, we identify with it. And if somebody doesn't want to do what I do, we take it very personally. It's a crush, right? You crushed my ego type of thing, right? So it doesn't feel good, right? It's rejection almost. It's almost a rejection. We could possibly take it as a rejection. And I'm just saying here and right now, don't take it so personally. Don't take it that way. Now, watch your new moon because it happens for Taurus Ascendant, Taurus Rising. That new moon is happening in your 10th house of work, okay? If you go watch the other video, it's going to, you need to make sure that you're watching both because this is all happening at the same time. The new moon suggestion is for this day, the 26th. And you're going to be seeing, like, after the 26th, like the 27th, the 28th, the 29th, you're going to see Mars and Venus are going to get even tighter and square up even more. So your new moon intention is important for your future and for going forward. And if you put all these things together that I'm saying to you now, it'll help you to better understand how you can move forward in a way that's progressive, in a new way, all right? It's in a new way. That's the other part of the video that you need to find out. How in a new way am I moving forward, okay? Because it's new information that's going to be coming in from Mercury, and the video explains it all. But in the meantime, just pay attention to the Mars and the Venus square and understand that if you're in a rocky relationship, this could be a major turning point and maybe not for the best. However, this is how you learn to trust. If you're in a good relationship and you trust each other, you can then have these separate experiences, hear about them afterwards, and be like, huh, this was actually good. This was good for us, right? So just, just experience and see how this works out for you. And in the meantime, I hope this helps. Bye.